Welcome to our ultimate guide on planting tomatoes. This comprehensive video is designed to provide you with all the necessary knowledge and techniques to successfully grow your own delicious tomatoes. When it comes to selecting tomato varieties for your garden, it's essential to understand the different types available. Tomatoes can be categorized into determinate and indeterminate types, each with its own growth habits. Determinate varieties tend to grow to a predetermined height and produce fruit all at once, making them ideal for compact spaces or container gardening. On the other hand, indeterminate varieties continue to grow and produce fruit throughout the season, requiring more support but offering a longer harvest period. Additionally, consider the distinction between heirloom and hybrid tomatoes. Heirloom tomatoes are open pollinated varieties that have been passed down through generations for their unique flavors and characteristics. Hybrid tomatoes, on the other hand, are bred from crossing different parent varieties to achieve specific traits such as disease resistance or uniformity. When selecting tomato varieties, take into account your climate, available space, and intended use for the fruit. Some varieties may be better suited to cooler climates, while others thrive in warmer conditions. Likewise, consider whether you'll be using the tomatoes for fresh eating, canning, or cooking, as different varieties may be better suited to each purpose. If you intend to can your tomatoes, the Roma, San Marzano, and Amish paste varieties are best. For cooking, beefsteak, celebrity, and early girl are among the best for ripening over heat. And if you choose to eat them fresh, cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, and other heirloom varieties are popular choices. Once you've chosen what type of tomato you'd like to grow, selecting the right location for planting tomatoes is crucial. Tomatoes thrive in full sunlight, so choose a spot in your garden that receives at least 6-8 hours of direct sunlight each day. Without sufficient sunlight, tomato plants may become leggy, produce fewer fruits, or become more susceptible to diseases. In addition to sunlight, consider the soil conditions in the chosen location. Tomatoes prefer well-draining soil with a pH level between 6.0 and 7.0. Sandy loam or loamy soil types are ideal for tomatoes, as they provide good drainage while retaining moisture and nutrients. Furthermore, ensure that the planting location has adequate air circulation. Good air circulation helps prevent diseases such as powdery mildew and improves pollination, leading to better fruit set. Avoid planting tomatoes in areas with heavy winds or where air circulation is restricted by surrounding structures or vegetation. Next, it's time to prepare your soil. Start by testing the soil to assess its pH level and nutrient content. Most tomato varieties prefer a slightly acidic soil with a pH range of 6.0 to 7.0. Soil testing kits are readily available at garden centers and can provide valuable insights into the soil's composition. Once you have determined the pH level and nutrient status of the soil, amend it as necessary to create optimal growing conditions for tomatoes. Adding organic matter such as compost, aged manure, or composted leaves can improve soil structure, fertility, and moisture retention. Before planting, ensure that the soil is well draining to prevent waterlogging, which can lead to root rot and other issues. Incorporating perlite or coarse sand into heavy clay soil can improve drainage, while raised beds or containers can be used in areas with poor soil quality. Finally, prepare the planting beds or containers by loosening the soil to a depth of 8-12 inches, 20-30 centimeters, and removing any weeds or debris. Start by clearing the area of any weeds or debris. Then, loosen the soil with a shovel or garden fork to a depth of about 8 to 12 inches. This will give your tomato roots plenty of room to grow. Planting tomato seedlings at the right time and in the proper manner is crucial for their successful establishment and growth. Timing is important, and it's recommended to plant tomato seedlings outdoors after the last expected frost date for your area. This ensures that the soil has warmed sufficiently for optimal root development and reduces the risk of cold damage to the young plants. When planting tomato seedlings, choose a sunny location with well-draining soil that has been prepared in advance. Dig planting holes deep enough to accommodate the root ball of the seedlings and space them according to the recommended spacing for the variety you're planting. Handle the seedlings carefully, being mindful not to disturb the roots excessively. Gently remove them from their containers and place them in the planting holes, ensuring that the top of the root ball is level with the surrounding soil. Backfill the holes with soil and gently firm the soil around the base of the seedlings to provide support. Water the newly planted seedlings thoroughly to settle the soil and help them establish. Mulching around the base of the plants can help conserve moisture and suppress weeds, providing additional support for their growth. Proper watering, maintenance, and care are essential for ensuring the health and productivity of tomato plants throughout the growing season. When it comes to watering, tomatoes require consistent moisture to thrive, but they are susceptible to overwatering, which can lead to root rot and other issues. It's recommended to water tomato plants deeply and evenly, ensuring that the soil is moist but not waterlogged. Mulching around the base of the plants can help retain moisture and regulate soil temperature, reducing the need for frequent watering. Providing support for tomato plants is important, especially for indeterminate varieties that continue to grow and produce fruit throughout the season. As your tomato plants grow, they'll need some support. You can use stakes, cages, or trellises to keep them upright and prevent them from sprawling on the ground. This will also make it easier to harvest your tomatoes later on. Trellising tomato plants is a great way to support their growth, keep them off the ground, and maximize space in your garden. Choose a trellis that is strong enough to support the weight of your tomato plants as they grow and produce fruit. This could be a metal or wooden trellis, a wire cage, or even a simple stake system. Place the trellis near your tomato plants before they start to grow too tall. This will allow the plants to naturally grow towards the trellis as they reach upwards. As your tomato plants grow, gently guide their stems towards the trellis and loosely tie them using soft plant ties or twine. Be careful not to tie them too tightly, as this could damage the stems. To keep your tomato plants manageable and encourage better airflow, it's a good idea to prune any suckers that develop in the crotch joints of the main stem and branches. This will also help prevent overcrowding on the trellis. As your tomato plants continue to grow, periodically check on them and adjust their position on the trellis as needed. You may need to add additional ties or supports to keep them secure. As previously mentioned, regular maintenance tasks such as pruning and removing suckers can help promote healthy growth and fruit production in tomato plants. A sucker on a tomato plant is a small shoot that develops in the crotch joint between the main stem and a branch. These suckers often appear as new growth between the main stem and the leaf branches. While they may seem harmless, allowing too many suckers to grow can result in overcrowding, reduced airflow, and lower fruit production. Pruning involves removing excess foliage and side shoots to improve air circulation and sunlight penetration, reducing the risk of disease and encouraging the development of larger, higher quality fruit. Additionally, monitoring tomato plants for signs of pests and diseases is important for early detection and effective management. Common tomato pests include aphids, hornworms, and whiteflies, while diseases such as blight, wilt, and blossom end rot can affect plant health and yield. Implementing cultural practices such as crop rotation, proper sanitation, and the use of resistant varieties can help prevent and manage pest and disease problems. Keep in mind that tomato plants have specific nutritional requirements to support healthy growth and fruit development. They require essential nutrients such as nitrogen, N, phosphorus, P, and potassium, K, as well as micronutrients like calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. Nitrogen promotes leafy growth. Phosphorus aids in root development and fruit formation, and potassium contributes to overall plant health and disease resistance. Additionally, calcium is crucial for preventing disorders such as blossom end rot. Fertilizing tomato plants at the right time and with the appropriate nutrients is vital for maximizing yield and fruit quality. Before planting, incorporate a balanced fertilizer into the soil to provide a good foundation of nutrients. Once the plants are established, begin applying a nitrogen-rich fertilizer every 4 weeks during the growing season to promote healthy foliage growth. As the plants start to flower and set fruit, switch to a fertilizer higher in phosphorus to support fruit development. Avoid over-fertilizing, as excessive nitrogen can lead to lush foliage at the expense of fruit production. Pruning tomato plants helps manage their growth, improve air circulation, and promote better fruit production. Remove any suckers that develop in the crotch joints of the main stem and branches, as these can divert energy away from fruit production. Additionally, prune off any yellowing or diseased foliage to prevent the spread of disease. Use clean, sharp pruners to make clean cuts and minimize damage to the plants. Pruning should be done regularly throughout the growing season to maintain plant health and productivity. By following the steps outlined in this video, you can successfully plant and care for your tomato plants, from selecting the right varieties to providing proper nutrition and maintenance throughout the growing season. Remember to choose a sunny location with well-draining soil, water consistently, provide support as needed, and monitor for pests and diseases. With patience and attention to detail, you'll be rewarded with a bountiful harvest of delicious, homegrown tomatoes. Happy gardening!